What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FM22 rebuild challenge. This is the series where I take a club that is struggling in real world football, take over them in FM22 and see what we can do with them in a 5-year period. This weekend we are taking control of Everton to see if we can do better than Frank Lampard. Everton are currently sat precariously just above that relegation zone in the Premier League this season, with a potential points deduction coming. I saw that on Twitter. I don't know how real that is, but we will take over Everton and we will see how well we can do with them in a 5-year period. This will be at the start of the 2021-2022 season, so I do get the whole shebang. I get the whole year to see what I can do, and hopefully we avoid that relegation zone quite considerably. But if the rebuild content is something that you do like, guys, please do show me that by dropping a like on today's video and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. But without any further ado, let's dive in season 1 with Everton right now. So guys, this is Everton in terms of their history. They are 9-time winners of the Premier League, which is something I didn't realise. I didn't realise it had been that many, or the top flight of football in England. Most recently, 1987. The most recent highest place finish was their 4th place finish in 2004, 2005. There are some Everton players that jump to my mind as soon as, you mention Everton. For me, Fellaini, Cahill. I'm all about that David Moyes era of Everton myself. Obviously, I'm only 30 years of age, so unfortunately, the other top flight titles are a little bit before my time. They are also 5-time winners of the FA Cup, most recently in 1995, and obviously they've won 9 Community Shields and 1 Sky Bet Championship and UEFA Cup Winners' Cup as well. So the Sky Bet Championship we're going to avoid like the plague. The UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, obviously that's not a thing for us. We will be trying to get our hands on some of this other silverware though, but we all know what the Premier League is like, especially against their city rivals. Liverpool and Manchester City and also United are crazy good in this year's FM. In terms of the plan though, this is the competitions that we're in season 1, the Premier League. The board are expecting a mid-table finish. The Emirates FA Cup, where they want us to reach the 5th round, and the Carabao Cup, where they want us to reach the 4th round. What we will have done though, guys, is we ban the transfers in the first transfer window. Just so you are aware, and we'll be trying to go as hard as we can, to be honest, to get as high up this league as possible. Because of that, we are using the GWRFM and my collab. It's a collab. The tactical collaboration between myself and GWRFM. We are using the Incredible Hulk tactic. We've done a whole breakdown video on this tactic. It's very good. Very good at goal scoring. So that's kind of where I'm at with this one. I want to kind of make our mark on the division. So this is kind of the team. If we do a super quick pick without restriction, this is the best 11 that Everton can put forward in this this particular lineup. So it'd be Pickford in goal, Coleman, Mina, Keane, Michael Keane, Mykolenko. There we go. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙈, Allen, Donny van der Beek. Obviously, we do have Dele Alli, Richarlison, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up top. This is a big sort of interesting spread if you look at the roles and abilities within the team. Defensively, we are struggling. Now, I know fullbacks really struggle with the inverted wing-back sort of options. So those guys at 2 stars is not really what I'm overly worried about. It's more the centre-backs. Michael Keane, Yerry Mina, not really the level. Obviously, we will be trying to play Ben Godfrey a decent amount because I think he's a fantastic player in this year's FM. Obviously, there is some deadwood in the club, in my opinion. Obviously, Moise Keane is on loan. Not great. Czech Tucson, again, not great. Fabian Delph, not great. Townsend, not great. Iwobi, in my opinion, not great. Dele Alli, he's going to go at my earliest convenience. Dele Alli, not a huge Dele Alli fan. So there's a lot of work to do. In terms of the finances, though, something that was new to me until I set up this save. Obviously, we got no transfer budget. That's because I've said there's no budgets. But debts and loans, I didn't realise how much debt Everton are in. It says their financial status in the top left is okay. I beg to differ. They have a net debt of almost £500 million. Most of them are, as you can see, gifted loans repayable on the departure of the chairperson. There's a couple of bank loans in there as well, and some miscellaneous debt. So we are in a spot. It's not a nice spot to be in, but we are in a spot which I think may restrict transfer business moving forward. Obviously, we did discuss the club vision and what is kind of expected in terms of competitions, but in terms of that club culture, though, they want us to play possession football, sign players under the age of 22, develop young players, play attacking football, do not sign players over the age of 30. Don't worry, I never do. Play entertaining football, and the ongoing plan is to build a new stadium. And yeah, obviously the qualifications and the competitions and stuff we have done first season, mid-table, and then beyond that, Europa League, and then be recognised as the best of the rest, as they have been previously, as I said, finishing 4th place in 2003-2004. We've been over the team. Let's see what happens in season number 1. I'll be back at the end of the year. So then, guys, it is the end of season number 1, and we've managed to get ourselves into that top 4. Obviously, as I mentioned, Manchester City, Manchester United and Liverpool are the teams to beat, and obviously you can see it on the screen. Manchester United, 94 points to win the Premier League title. We get 78 points, which gets us inside that top 4 comfortably, 8 points ahead of Chelsea, who are obviously going through their own sort of issues right now. We're also runners-up in that Emirates FA Cup. Who do we lose the final to? United. Okay, League and Cup double for Manchester United, then losing that one on penalties. Rather frustratingly, Dele Alli scores, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Yerry Mina with the goals for us, and then United come back in a big way. Hannibal Mejbri, Bruno Fernandes, and Danny Ceballos, who is someone they've obviously purchased in January. They did have Scott McTominay sent off in extra time as well. In terms of the penalty shootout, Telles, Rashford, Hannibal, Victor Lindelof, and I don't know who this Taylor is off the top of my head. Kenneth Taylor? Sure, that's a player I've not seen purchased before. All scored their penalties. Who missed for us then? Richarlison, Czech, Toussaint, Gordon, Allen and Doucouré all scoring their penalties. Good performance for us, but definitely some work to still be done. To get to the finals, pretty cool. 4th round knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Liverpool, so that's going to be a bit of a yikes. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a big year for us. If we go in terms of all competitions, 24 goals for DCL, highest average rating as well. And then we had quite a few players with most assists, 9 for Allen, Tom Davis and Dele Alli. But still some work to be done here. In terms of goals conceded, we are the 2nd best team in the division, which is really nice. Let me expand that league table so you can see it a little bit better. So yeah, in terms of goals conceded, we are joint 2nd best. It's ourselves and Liverpool. The best in the division was Manchester City. In terms of goals scored, they were a little bit of a ways away. All 3 of the clubs that finished above us scored 20. No, not that's bad maths, Steve. 14 more goals than we did, so definitely some work to be done, but some interesting stuff in season number 1. In terms of the finances, though, going into season number 2, we've got 37 million, stop lying, Steve, 37 million to spend on transfers. Obviously, we will be trying to make some amends here. There are a couple players in the squad that are wanted, as you can see. Ben Godfrey's wanted, Yerry Mina's wanted, the left back's wanted, Doucouré, Tom Davies, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is wanted by Arsenal, Manchester United and Bayern Munich. So yeah, some interesting stuff's going to happen in this summer transfer window, and we'll be back for season number 2 right now. So then, guys, transfer update for season number 2. I've been out and I've tried to spend some good money. Now, we did have the 2nd best defence in the division, but I still wasn't happy with it. So I've been out and I've spent some money. In terms of the players out, though, we've recouped a little bit. Andre Gomez has gone to Leeds. Andros Townsend has gone to Korea, which is interesting. Solomon Rondon, again, gone. John Joe Kenny gone, and then the rest are smaller figures. In terms of money spent and players coming in, Oscar Mingueza comes in from Barcelona. £4.2 million for him. I think he can be a really, really good asset for us. I think I'm going to be playing him as that inverted wing back on that right-hand side. I think he's going to be able to step in quite nicely. He's got good marking, good passing, good tackling as well. So I think he can be a nice little ball player for us in that inverted wing back spot. In terms of his career, though, didn't really get off to a flyer in terms of being at Barcelona in last season. 10 appearances for them in the league, so we spent 4.2 million. I think he's a good pickup. We also brought in Umar Soleil from RB Salzburg. If you've seen my RB Salzburg rebuild, you know this guy is the Dogs. You know what? He is very, very good. So we've been able to pick him up. A very good signing for us. 11.5 million for a guy that Salzburg spent 4 million on a couple of seasons ago. He had a very good year last year. 17 appearances in the league for Salzburg, giving them a 7.31 rating and 11.5 million for a defender of this caliber. I'm actually quite happy with. Something I'm not as happy with, we've bought another defender, Benoit Badiashile. We spent a lot of money on this guy, and I think the main reason that I did that was you know, I want him to be dangerous off of corners. He's 6'4", 17 jumping reach, 16 heading. I think this guy's going to score a decent amount of headers. We are definitely calling in that defensive reinforcements. I've also signed a big 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈𝙚. Again, he is at Malmo. On the update, he starts the first season at Bordeaux on loan, and now we've managed to bring him in full time. He is our player. Another guy, 6'5", great jumping reach. He's young. He's athletic. He's in the team. We've signed 4 defenders. And arguably 4 centre-backs. We've also let a couple of other players go. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 gone, Fabian Delph's gone, Asmir Begovic is gone. So some money has been transferred off of the wage budget and reallocated in some different ways. Our current wage budget is £2.5 million. We're spending 2. So we're in good shape in terms of that. Obviously, the debts and the loans are still a big yikes. So in terms of the tactic, though, with these all new additions, this is our kind of best 11 and how we are looking going into season number 2. Pickford in goal, Mingueza, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 alongside 𝘼𝙗𝙪, Ben Godfrey coming in as that left inverted fullback. Let's order these so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. There we go. Alan Doucouré and Tom Davies are the central midfielders. Dele Alli still here, very, very frustrated that I wasn't able to get rid of Dele Alli. As you can see, he's unhappy. Unhappy to have been touted to other clubs for transfer. Sorry, Dele. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin's there, and Moise Kean is listed in our best 11, but obviously everybody knows he is joining Juventus. Obviously, so we do have players on the bench: Richarlison, Solé, Gbamin, Demarai Gray, who had a good season last year, Yerry Iwobi, Holgate, Coleman, Michael Keane. We're a lot deeper this year than we were last year, so I'm kind of hoping to build on that 4th place finish in terms of the club vision and what is expected. If we go and open that a little bit more in terms of the competition, we're doing well on developing players using the club's youth system, and we're also signing players under the age of 23 for the first team, so they're happy with that. Very much working within the wage budget, again, something that they're very happy with. Champions League, we are in that for the first time in a long time for Everton, and they want us to be competitive, obviously, because of where the coefficient lands England. We go straight into the group stages there, no qualification required. But Premier League, again, mid-table finish, not really the highest aspirations. Quarterfinals of both domestic cup competitions, and then my contract expires, so let's hope we have a good year. In terms of everything, though, obviously, as I mentioned, we do go into the group stage. Premier League is going to start. In terms of those odds, just because I'm curious, because we've spent a lot of money, 50-1 predicted to finish 9th behind Leicester, Newcastle, Arsenal, Tottenham. We don't have anyone in the Media Dream 11 either. Not really. Huge surprise. And Manchester City have bought 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈𝙚. So this is going to be a fun one. I'll see you at the end of season number 2. So season number 2 is done and dusted, and we have retained our place in that top 4. Not as many points as last season, though, so something we maybe need to address. We've got 10 losses in the league as well, which is, again, not very good. 72 points for us. Manchester City, no surprises after signing 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈𝙚. Run out winners of the Premier League, 95 points for them. But we do scrape in, finishing 1 point ahead of Chelsea and 1 point behind Manchester United in the Premier League. Richarlison, top goal scorer in that competition. We advanced through the group stages of the Champions League, and then we're knocked out by Inter Milan in that first knockout round. Runners up again in the Emirates FA Cup, this time losing to Liverpool in extra time. Soule gets sent off. Diaz, Mo Salah, 3 goals in extra time. That's a bit of a killer, isn't it? That is a bit of a killer to lose it to Liverpool's nightmare. But we do secure Champions League football for next season. In terms of our Champions League group, just because I'm curious, we were in a group with RB Leipzig, Porto, and Club Brugge. 4 wins, 2 draws, unbeaten in that group stage. And then we do go through into that Champions League knockout phase. And we take on Inter Milan. We draw 0-0 away, which is pretty good result, actually. And then, unfortunately, we lose the game at Goodison 1-0. Dele Alli, again, another red card costing us here. Dele Alli sent off in the 81st minute, and then Sensi gets the winner for Inter in the 118th minute, sorry. Right before we go to penalties. A couple of poor performances in there, and Dele Alli definitely being one of them, which is really, really disappointing. In terms of things, though, I'm kind of okay with the progress, despite that it's gone backwards. We were good in the Champions League. That's my main thing. Runners up in the FA Cup again to Liverpool as well, out of all clubs, is really, really frustrating. And there's definitely something we need to build on for next season. In terms of the finances and how much we have to spend, 57.7 million in that transfer kitty going into next season. Obviously, we are going to try and create some extra funds for ourselves. Let's see what can happen. Transfer update for season number 3. up next. Right then, guys, we did have a lot of money to spend, and I've been out and I've been very, very busy in that transfer market. We're trying to spend a little bit of money in a couple of other different positions, so we've been busy doing that. Mattias Svanberg is the first player to come in as a central midfielder. He comes in from Bologna in Italy, the Swede. Looks very, very nicely well balanced, really, really good mentals, exactly what I bought him for. £17 million he comes in from the Italian side, averaging over a 7 in the game so far this time around, so that's really, really good. We also went out and spent a lot of money on this guy, Jeremy Pino from Villarreal. Now, I've kind of bought him to play as a shadow striker behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin, behind Richarlison. With this guy behind, he is a wonder kid. He's only 20 years of age. 3.5-star current ability, a very good rating for the senior team. With that 5-star potential, he is young, he is dynamic, he can get the ball in the back of the net. It's kind of what I bought him for. Annoyingly, he is better placed on the wings, and I don't play wingers in this formation, but I'm hoping we can either play him as a DLF up front, which it looks like he could play, kind of has the attributes to do that, but ideally I want to play him as a shadow striker, especially with that 17 dribbling and 16 agility. I think he's going to cause a lot of damage. We did spend a lot of money on him, 105 million, which could rise to 125 million to Villarreal. A lot of this is in installments, guys, I will say. We didn't spend all of that money in one go. We've also been out and signed 𝘼𝙗𝙤 𝙈𝙚. Now, he was transfer listed by Real Madrid. Now, this is a lot of money to spend on a player. I understand. We've spent over 200 million in this window, but when players like Camavinga become transfer listed, you kind of have to make the most of it and try to do what you can. I'm hoping Camavinga can come in and be that deep line playmaker for this formation. He is the epitome of perfect player to fit in this, and he's 20 years of age. I think he's going to be a fantastic addition to the team. In terms of some of the outgoings, though, we have sold some players. Dele Alli has gone, which is fantastic, and obviously we got the Moise Kean money. So Moise Kean 24 million to Juve, and Dele Alli 18 million to West Ham. So we have made some money back. Not really enough, in my opinion, but we are moving in the right direction. So this is kind of what I want to do here. And then obviously the £100 million man, Pino, comes in there. So this is kind of what I'm thinking in terms of the team. Probably is how we're going to line up. Pickford, Mingueza, Anil, Badashile, Mykolenko, Shaw, Svanberg, Camavinga. Sole has actually been playing as a midfielder. I don't know why my assistant manager is doing that. He is a centre-back by trade, but he is now also a very capable central midfielder. Not really sure what's happened with that. Then Pino, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison are the man up top. And we also do have this guy I need to touch on. James Johnston come through our youth setup. Not really great yet physically. Mentally he's okay, but technically he's actually quite outstanding. 5-star potential, so we will keep an eye on James Johnston through the course of this save. In terms of the club vision and what is expected in this season then, we are expected again to be competitive in the Champions League. It's our second time around. Obviously we go into the group stages. A little bit more expectation from the Premier League. They want us to qualify for the Europa League in the Premier League. No more top half finish. They want us to start moving forward. Quarterfinals is the minimum requirement for the FA Cup, and the EFL Cup they don't care about. And then again, beyond that, consider being the best of the rest, which is a little bit of a stretch, but we will try our best. Obviously, everything else that we are doing, we are working within that wage budget. We are signing players under the age of 23, and we are developing players using the club's youth system. We are trying to bring a few through with us as well. In terms of the competitions and that Premier League, we were 50-1 to win the Premier League last time. 25-1, so we are getting there slowly. We are creeping up the table. Expected to finish 7th, still behind Newcastle and Arsenal, and then obviously the top 4 that you probably would expect in this. And Millwall have made it into the Premier League, which, sure. Okay, cool. We are going to simulate this season. I'll be back at the end of it. Fingers crossed we can advance and get a little bit better than 4th place. Season is over, and we did finish slightly higher than 4th. We finished in 3rd. We got 79 points in the Premier League. Liverpool Centurions, 102 points for Liverpool, which is like there's nothing you can do against it. This is the competition screen. We are in a Champions League group, as you can see, with AC Milan, Real Madrid, and Benfica. A little bit of a group of death. We finish on the same number of points as Real Madrid, but their goal difference is 7. Our goal difference, -2. Not great. So we do drop down into the Europa League, which we win. We beat Porto in extra time 1-0. We'll go through all of this in a second. We are again third time runner-up in this save in the FA Cup. And then obviously knocked out in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup, which nobody cares about at this level, by Southampton. So, Emirates FA Cup, we are runners-up again. And again, we lose to Liverpool. Oh, my God. Oh, we cannot catch a break. Liverpool have won the last 2. Manchester United the year before. Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores inside the first minute. Then Salah, Firmino, and Tsimakis with the goals. This Liverpool team looking relatively solid and relatively what you kind of would expect at this point. But they do win the FA Cup. They do win the Premier League. 102 points for Liverpool. Unbeaten in the Premier League. 32 victories, 6 draws for Liverpool with a plus 65 goal difference. But 79 points for us. Okay, we are kind of ticking over quite nicely, and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙯 there with a 7.42 in terms of things. Let's have a look at the European run though. The Europa League, we worked our way through, having been knocked out of the Champions League. Let's pop the Europa League into here. So we go into the knockout stages. We take on PSV. We beat them 4-1 at home. Then we draw 2-2 away, going through comfortably there. Dynamo Moscow, obviously Russian influence, not great right now, but we beat them 3-1 at home, lose 2-1 in Russia. Then we take on Olympiacos, probably not a team that you would expect to see at the quarterfinal stage of the Europa League. Beat them 5-0 at home, and then beat them 2-1 away from home. Up next, Chelsea, someone who we face in the Premier League regularly, and we managed to dispatch them 2-2 at the Bridge. 2 goals from Lukaku, cancel out goals from 𝘼𝙗𝙗 and Richarlison. Then we bring them back to Goodison and give them a bit of a trouncing, really. 5-0. Richarlison with 2, Svanberg, Chilwell own goal, and Benoit 𝘼𝙗𝙗 hammering in what I can only assume being a corner. And then we beat Porto in the final. The man who we spent a lot of money on, guys, Jeremy Pino, sorry, getting that goal in the 116th minute. We're seeing a lot of extra time. We're seeing a lot of injury time in these, which is, I don't know how I feel about that. But in terms of everything, Everton fans, let me know that down in the comments. I assume you're going to contribute this as a good season, despite losing the FA Cup final to Liverpool and the fact that Liverpool got 100 points. I think Everton would be quite happy with this. The city of Liverpool absolutely thriving. All the trophies basically in Liverpool. Did someone win the Carabao Cup? Man City won the Carabao Cup. Who cares about the Carabao Cup? It's fine. It's fine. This is season number 3. I'm going to have some money to spend, I assume, going back into the Champions League for another season. 53.6 million this time around. Let's go spend it. I can't believe I've done it. I've signed Benjamin Sesko, guys. I wanted another bit of competition up top between Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Sesko was about to have his minimum fee release clause activated by someone, so I went in and swooped in 14.25 million. We all know about Benjamin Sesko if you've played FM this year. 7 goals in 9 appearances last year for Salzburg. Time for him to come and play some big ball. So 14.25. Nice. Sergio Gomez, a guy who we tried out and had in our Anderlecht rebuild not too long ago. If you have missed that, please do go and check it out. It was very, very nice to try somewhere not in a main league that you kind of would expect, but also Belgium, very, very nice league to manage in. So we signed Sergio Gomez to play as that left inverted wingback. Now, you're looking at him and you're probably thinking, Steve, he is a terrible fullback, and you'll be correct, but he is a very, very good inverted wingback. With that 15 passing and stuff, he is probably better suited to being a winger. That's not where we're playing him. So Sergio Gomez comes in to play left back. In terms of some of the other outgoings, Alex Iwobi has gone on a free. We've also sold the left back here to Inter Milan, the Ukrainian left back. So it's good to see him on his way over to Italy. In terms of the tactic, I'm sure you guys are going to want to see. Obviously, we are still running the same system, but the best 11 now looks something a little bit like this. So this is Pickford in goal, Mingueza, Anil alongside 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙯, Godfrey, Solé, Camavinga, Svanberg have kind of locked up those 3 midfield positions. Demarai Gray actually playing very, very well for us in that central attacking midfield position. Pino playing as a DLF alongside Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and then obviously we've got Sesko, Richarlison, Sergio Gomez, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙯. We are deep off the bench, Holgate as well, and then obviously the new gen Johnson as well. In terms of competitions, much the same. We've got all of the same four that we know and love, but we also do have the UEFA Super Cup where we take on Liverpool, another sort of City Scouse derby. Yeah. Don't know how that's going to go. Obviously, we are Europa League winners. They are Champions League winners. So, as I said, pretty much all of the trophies in a season ending up on Merseyside, which is pretty good, pretty nice. But I'm sure Everton fans will still be a little bit upset that Liverpool have won everything. In terms of everything else, though, and that expectation, the club vision, etc., etc. Let's expand this a little bit. Much the same. Champions League, they want us to reach the first knockout round. They don't care about the Super Cup. Top half of the Premier League, I don't understand why that's dropped off a little bit. Reach the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So that domestic cup sort of working its way up the priority list, which is interesting to see. And then, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see how we get on. Season number 4. Results come in right now. So season 4 is over, and unfortunately it is a little bit of a more disappointing season for us. We do finish 3rd in the Premier League again, 3 points behind winners Liverpool, which is, you know, we're closing that gap. It was definitely a lot last season, a lot more last season in season number 3. Season number 4, beaten by 3 points. We're definitely in the right ballpark. The goal difference is up nice and high, 51 goal difference. Knocked out in the first knockout round of the Champions League by Dortmund, 6-3 on aggregate, including a 5-1 loss away in Germany, which is really disappointing. We did win the Super Cup. We beat Liverpool in that one. Let's expand this so we can have a little peek and see what happened. Having Everton alongside some of these names as UEFA Super Cup winners is quite interesting to see. So goals then. For Liverpool, I can already see it. You may not be able to. Diogo Jota with the first goal for Liverpool and Luis Diaz with the second. Jeremy Pino scored in the 92nd minute to take it to extra time. Diaz scores. Anthony Gordon comes in 117th minute. Look at this young lad. He's quite solid, but I'm letting him go. He is joining Wolfsburg on a free transfer. Sometimes this happens, guys, and I do not pay attention to the contracts that are expiring, and we have issues. Anthony Gordon, having scored the winner, or scored the goal to take it to penalties, in that UEFA Super Cup final at the start of the season, leaves at the end of the season. So it did go to penalties. I just wait for this match report to finish. Harvey Elliott misses for Liverpool. No players miss for Everton. Richarlison, Sesko, Gordon, Gray, Davies, Patterson, all in the goals. Living our best life, winning that one. In terms of the other competitions, knocked out in the 4th round of the FA Cup by West Ham, knocked out in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup by Leeds. As you can see, the performance has kind of dropped off a little bit, but we are being a little bit better in terms of these Premier League finishes. If we expand the stages, 80 points this season. The season before, we had 79. The season before that, 72. The season before that, 78. So this is our best points return in season 4 going into season number 5. We've got more money to spend. No real surprises there. This is our biggest war chest so far, 67.9 million. It's going to be an interesting one. Where do you think we're going to spend it? We've got a lot of options. Let's go. So guys, here we go into season number 5, the 5th and final season. And if you guys are still here, you're a legend. And if you are still here, let me know by commenting down below. Up the toffees. The James Rodriguez little gif. Comment it down below just so I know who's made it to this stage of the video going into season number 5. We've spent more money. Who's surprised? Not me. We've spent a lot of money as well, by the way, chat, comment section. Tammy Abraham has come in. He has now joined Everton. Now, I have to apologise. I was bad with contracts going into season number 5, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is now a PSG player. I didn't sell him. His contract was expiring, and he went to PSG. So that's why I got frustrated. I went out and I bought Tammy Abraham. We spent a lot of money on Tammy. His physicals are brilliant. I have an affinity with Tammy Abraham from his loan with Bristol City, the team that I support. In terms of his career stats, he's been very, very consistent at Roma. 90 million. Yeah, 90 million to bring Tammy back to the Premier League. Oh, I hope he can deliver me something. We also went out and bought Samuel Ricci as well from Empoli. He hadn't made a transfer to anywhere else in Italy, so we went out and signed him. Obviously, the Italian under-21 international, not capped by the full national side just yet, but he's already listed as a world-class midfielder. Looks very, very well-rounded. One of the consistent players in this year's game. Big fan of Ricci from Empoli. We've also signed Martin Odegaard, transfer listed by Arsenal, might I add, but we did spend a lot of money on him, 90+ million to bring in Odegaard. If anyone's played FM this year with Arsenal, they know how good this guy is. Give him game time, play him, and I've seen him look even better than what is on the screen right now. And this version of Odegaard looks pretty darn tasty. 12 assists last year in the Premier League, averaging a 7.2 in that division. £92 million we spent on Odegaard, but you know, we try and move things forward. In terms of some of the outgoings, Charlie Whittaker's gone. Nobody really cares. There's the DCL freebie going to Paris Saint-Germain, which is really disappointing. We also brought in Donny van der Beek. He comes back to the club. He was on a free transfer leaving Manchester United, so I thought, why not an extra body in that midfield to really give us a little bit of a more solidity. So in terms of the money that we spent, we've gone big, guys, and this is kind of where we're looking. Pickford, Mingueza, Anil Badashile, Godfrey, Soleil, Camavinga, Ricky, Odegaard, Pino, Abraham. Then look at the substitute options. Richarlison, Sergio Gomez, Svanberg, Sesko, Donny van der Beek, Damari Gray, Thomas Davies. This is James Johnston going into the final season. His physicals have really picked up. Mentals, I'm still trying to do some work on it, but technically, again, fantastic. 19 years of age, 5-star potential. Could become an absolute monster. In terms of things, though, this is our best shot. We've spent a lot of money. I think the combination of these three guys, Abraham, Pino, and Odegaard up top, can really do some damage. In terms of the competitions, we've got the main four on the agenda again. Group stage of the Champions League that we enter. The board want us to finish inside the top half of the Premier League. We are going to be gunning for it as much as we humanly possibly can. And in terms of that season preview, we are expected to finish in 5th. Odds of 11-1 to win the Premier League. We're not the top by any stretch, but I think we are in with a shout. Chelsea would obviously be in with a shout as well. So this is the time for us to step up and be known, be accountable, be someone who can deliver in this Premier League. Let's see how season 5 goes. So then, guys, we spent an awful lot of money going into season number 5, the 5th and final season, and it was worth it. Our highest points return in the Premier League means we win the Premier League in season number 5. We are disappointed in all the other competitions, in my opinion, but we beat Liverpool to the Premier League title, winning on the last day of the season, making sure we get it done. Both teams finish on 87 points. We have a slightly superior goal difference, 56 in terms of that goal difference on that final day of the season, getting the job done. Tammy Abraham returning the money that we spent on him, in my opinion. 20 goals in the Premier League, very good for him. And then Odegaard, as you can see, top goal scorer in pretty much every other competition. He, again, is very good this year. Champions League group stages, we obviously go through, and then we're knocked out in the first knockout round by Barcelona, losing that one 3-2 on aggregate, obviously beating them 2-0 at Goodison, and then losing 3-0 away from home. Bit frustrating there. Quarterfinals, knocked out in the FA Cup by Arsenal, and then quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, also knocked out by Leeds United. But Premier League champions at last. Money well spent. We're in a good shape. That's kind of all I can say. Money spent, we're in good shape. If we go into the club info, we do have a brand new stadium that has been built, Bramley Moore Dock Stadium. If we click on this, you can have a little peek. Obviously, I don't have an image of it, but it's in Liverpool. As you can see, the year built 2024, that has happened now, and the capacity is just under £53,000. So £53,000, 53,000 people. So we do have a new stadium, brand new stadium, Premier League champions. This save is ripe for you guys to come in and take over, which is something you can do. Down in the description there is a link to my Discord. I post all these saves for all my rebuilds into there once we are done with them. Once the video's gone live, you can come in, take over the save yourself, and take this team to the next level. We've just won the Premier League, but we've not had success in that Champions League. Can you be the manager to get that job done? But that is where I'm going to leave this rebuild for today, guys. Let me know down in the comments as well who you would like to see me rebuild next. I've got a nice one lined up for next weekend, but I'm always open for ideas after that. But until next time, if you have enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are picking up things for the very first time and you're an Everton fan, then please do subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you on another one very soon.